What's good, y'all? And welcome to my review of Season 1 of Chucky. Yeah, because as you guys may have known, if you did not already know, if you somehow skipped the little teaser at the end of during the end credits of the last episode of Season 1, we are indeed going to be getting a Chucky Season 2, which actually was announced last week. I want to say sometime last week or a few days ago is when it was announced that we were getting Season 2 for Chucky, which actually shocked me because I didn't think we were going to get one. I thought that like this whole thing with Chucky as a TV show, they're probably like they were going to do they were going to do like the one season of TV by itself, and then maybe after that go back to like direct to Blu-ray movies, or maybe they'll go back to giving Chucky movies theatrical releases or something. I didn't, so I'm not sure if that means that Chucky going forward is just going to be the TV show, and there's no longer going to be any more standalone movies like Curse of Chucky, Seed of Chucky, or Cult of Chucky, rather, that are direct to Blu-ray or whatever. And I don't know if this means we're going exclusive TV or there's going to be like a mixture of the two. We'll have to wait and see on that. And we're curious on which cast and which characters are going to be getting the focus of season 2. Whether or not it's one thing going to be these new characters, and then later on the OG cast is going to get involved. If it's going to focus exclusively with the OG cast members, or it's going to be a mixture of the two, or a completely different set of characters when they first experienced Chucky. It'll have to be. We'll find out in the coming months, I guess, or whatever. Anyway, guys, this show was fucking amazing. Low key, out of everything in the main Chucky timeline, Child's Play 1, 2, 3, Bride of Chucky, Cult of Chucky, Seed of Chucky, Curse of Chucky. This might be my all-time. This might be my favorite in the series. Honestly, I love this season of TV, man. It was really fucking awesome, man. I loved it. But without for any way, and the last episode, by the way, was fucking fire, man. And seriously, before we jump right in, I gotta say this right now. Shout outs to the effects teams that were working on the show. The practical effects for like the kills and shit, especially in the last episode, were fantastic, man. So shout outs to the effects team. Anyway, man, let's just jump right into the movie. So the show, of course, stars Jennifer Tilly, Flora Dor, Finoa Dorif, if I'm saying her name right, Brad Dorif. Oh wait, are these two related actually? Huh, interesting. I just noticed they have the same last name. I wonder if that means. I wonder if Brad and Flora are actually related. Like maybe they're like, I don't know. Maybe that's like his granddaughter or something. I don't know. Write in the comments. Anyway, Zachary Arthur, Alvi, Alivi, Ali Lynn. I probably butchered that name. Devin Swana, and many more. So the plot of Chucky before. Oh, this synopsis already has me dying, man. Before Annabelle of the Conjuring movie series, there was another terrifying. Oh, I love Chucky, man. Oh, I love him. After a vintage Chucky doll turns up at a suburban yard sale, and idyllic American town is thrown into chaos as a series of horrifying murders begin to expose the town's hypocrisy and secrets. Meanwhile, the arrival of enemies and allies from Chucky's past threaten to expose the truth behind the killings, as well as the demon doll's untold origins, as a seemingly ordinary child who somehow becomes the notorious monster. Anyway, so, first off, we gotta praise, of course, the cast. Of course, Brad Dourif is once again fantastic as Chucky, man. Like always, this man is an absolute legend. And Jennifer Tilly, once again, fantastic as Tiffany, man. She's great. The rest of the new characters, especially, were great. Shout outs in particular to Zachary. He was great as Jake, man. I love Jake. Olivia Lynn. She was fantastic as Lexi. If you guys follow me on Twitter, you guys know my relationship with Lexi. I hated this bitch throughout most of the series, man, because she was such a bitch, man. Like, bro. For y'all that were following me on Twitter and y'all saw was watching the series as it was airing on USA or Sci-Fi, or you watched the episodes on YouTube because USA was uploading them. I don't know if they actually ended up uploading the entire series. I do know they at least did like the first 4 episodes, I think it was. Anyway, she was fantastic because she was such an amazing bitch, man. And The kid played Devin was great, and of course, and also the kid that plays Junior, Tio Brian Brianis, if I'm butchering that. He was fantastic as well. The cast overall was great, man. New characters and the OGs alike, both of them did amazing jobs. The kills, fantastic. It's a slasher film, Chucky. You know, you guys know I love me, my graphic kills. And man, we got some really good ones in the show, man. Some really good creative ones, especially in the last episode. I already mentioned how great the we got like they get pretty graphic at times. And like I said, the makeup and like the practical effects used for the kills, man, it's fantastic, man. Seriously, shout outs once again to the effects team, man. They all did an amazing job. One thing, but another thing I gotta praise, I gotta say right here, is Jake. I love Jake, and I can say, and I'm glad to say this, he is definitely an example of good gay representation we've gotten in like TVs or whatever. And because you guys remember, if you guys saw my first impressions, which was on the first episode, you guys know when we like it was kind of iffy, like I was kind of iffy, like, oh, is Jake actually gay or not? And of course, as the series progressed, they made it obvious, yes, he was gay, and of course, they even kind of confirmed in the first episode, or whatever. Um, I was kind of interested what the show was going to do with it. If they were going if the show would end up divulging into like, oh, straight people be homophobic or some shit. You know what I mean? They get like the writers get on like their fucking high horse and they like start bitching and complaining and whatever. Thankfully, that doesn't happen. The Jake is is an amazingly written character. And I kind of like what they did because you don't really see a lot of gay characters in horror movies, especially some slasher subgenre. So it's interesting to kind of see that in this Chucky season. And Jake, like I said, was an amazing character, man. And I love the relationship he had with Devin and how it kind of grows as the season progresses. And I thought their overall relationship was really great. But yo, Jake in like the last episode, bro, this man be built different. Like I guess minor spoilers ahead, but like this man sounds like he's like has like his foot on Chucky, and this man is just like he's like, look at you, you're pathetic, and he's talking, and this man is talking his shit to Chucky. Then Devin goes out there and hands Jake the knife, and he's like, I don't need that shit. I'll kill you with my bare hands. I'm like, what the fuck, bro? What happened to you, bro? What the fuck? When did you become so violent? That caught me so off guard, man. I was like, what the fuck? Damn, Jake going crazy. But yeah, glad to see Jake is just a well-written character and he's not bogged down with a bunch of unnecessary shit. Black woman could certainly take some cues from the show, but I digress. Anyway, so Jake was an amazing character. Like I said, mentioned before, the rest of the cast was great. I love the relationship that Jake has with Devin and how it evolves across the season. Um, Another thing I actually kind of enjoy, I liked how the show managed to balance having the new characters and balancing with like the OG characters like Tiffany, Andy, and the rest of the cast, and how we're like no real one gets more like favoritism. It's not like in the sequel trilogy in the start where like the original trilogy characters always get the spotlight and like us prequel fans get the shaft, Like I liked how they kind of like balanced it out and didn't really play favorites at all. Outside, I guess outside of like playing favorites at Chucky, but like he's the main reason you're here in the first place. Yeah, but I like that how they balance it out and like both eras and characters get their own equal screen time and like development and such. And yeah, that was cool. It was also nice to see Andy more mature and like this adult Andy because we haven't really seen like adult Andy really that focused on. We saw him a little bit in like the end of Curse of Chucky, I believe, and I don't even know if he was even in Cult of Chucky. I haven't seen the movie since I originally watched it when I got the Blu-ray of it, so I could be wrong on that one. But I don't remember him having much of a role, if any, in Cult of Chucky. So it was nice to finally see Andy really brought back into the forefront and really get to see him, see him now as an adult. So like I said, we haven't really gotten to see that much at all since like he was like what? It was only in Curse of Chucky for like what, 2 minutes, So that was great. Now, as far as like problems I had with the show, I think the only flaws I would say I have is one. I would have liked to seen Nika, I like to say her name, get a bit more focus into the show because, and the reason I say is because she was the main character and the character we were following throughout the last two Chucky films, Curse of Chucky and Cult of Chucky. And because of that, I was hoping we've gone to see a bit more of her character, get to know her more, see what she's up to and like and such. Where I really get to get inside her head and what she's how she feels, in the aftermath of the last two Chucky films. But she's like rarely in the show at all, and she's just kind of there just to be like, "No God, oh my God," and get possessed by Chucky, which I did like her Chucky impression. She like how she like changes her voice and her mannerisms to try and emulate Chucky. I thought was really cool and pretty fun. It was really entertaining as well. But I would have liked to see her get a bit more focus in the show. And we kind of got to see, she got a bit more development and more screen time to herself. It's because since how important she was, like the character we were focusing on and following the last two Chucky films. And also Lexi's character. Now, like I said before, I hated Lexi at the start of it, obviously because she was such an obnoxious bitch. But once she starts to like get developed, and when she starts to get developed, and she actually starts to learn empathy and is not an obnoxious bitch, I won't lie, man. I didn't really care for that much. Like when she gets to start to get more of emotion, but I will say, like I said, her performance was fantastic throughout the entire show, man. She gave an amazing performance, man. So seriously, shout outs to her, man. But her character, I just didn't. I felt I kind of went from "fuck you, bitch, I hope you die" to, I didn't really feel much. I was kind of just indifferent to her when she started to change. It wasn't a bitch anymore. And like I said, her performance was great, but I just couldn't really get that invested into her at all, man, like I was into Jake or Devin, or hell, even Junior to a certain extent. But I will say, once we got to learn the family dynamics of her house, and we realized like her mom is probably an even bigger bitch than her, I won't lie, I did start to feel a little bit bad for her at that point. I'm like, yo, I'm like, bro, I thought you were a bitch, but your mom, she's like 10 times worse. But yeah, those are like the only two flaws I had with the show, man. Overall, it was fucking fantastic, man. Definitely highlight when you guys check this show out, as it's gonna. If you guys are a hardcore fan of Chucky, like just enjoy Chucky, a Castle fan like me, check it out, guys. You can find a good chunk of the episodes on YouTube. Peacock's gonna be adding it up. It's gonna be adding it tomorrow or today when this video actually comes out. And it's also on Hulu as well. So yeah, you guys got your options for you guys that want to check it out. And I recommend you guys do because it is a fantastic show, man. Anyway, guys, overall, I'm going to give Chucky Season 1 a 10 out of fucking 10, ladies and gentlemen. So anyway, hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you like, if you did, subscribe if you're new. Follow me on Instagram and Twitter. Flag and links down in the description box below. And as always, come back for more. See you guys next time. She's too